Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Audrey Marie. Hope you're having an amazing day and thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I will be reading Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. I've had this book for a little while now and I've constantly been thinking about picking it up and reading it, but I have so many other books that I gravitate towards. But I finally picked this up. I knew a little bit about this book, as in Sloan and Rowan are two serial killers that enjoy killing other serial killers, and it's a dark romance. I'm about 111 pages into this book already. I tried starting another book this past week, but I was not able to pick up a book since I was out of town. I was busy, I was socializing, I was working on my schoolwork. I just did not have any time to pick up a book and read. So that book, I read that chapter before I left, and when I came back I was just not in the mood to read it. I just wanted something different, not anything too hard to understand, and something I could just breeze quickly through, because right now it is the last week of classes before finals. And if I have any availability to pick up a book, I just want to breeze through it, and I don't want to have my brain working overtime trying to understand a hard fantasy world. So I put that book down and picked up this book when I came back because it's a contemporary dark romance. I'm gonna understand the world because it's set in present day, and I haven't read anything by this author before, so I was intrigued, and it's been sitting up here for a good while now. I read one chapter just to see if it caught my attention, and it did. The way this book starts is so interesting, and it just grabs your attention, just trying to figure out why Sloan is stuck in the position that she currently got herself into, and why Rowan has to come and save her. So I'm thoroughly eating this up, enjoying it. Right now it is crunch time for school. I did happen to start and finish another book in one day, and that was thanks to the audiobook of this book, because if I didn't, I would be so stressed about schoolwork. I was able to put it in, pack up my clothes, work on some studio while I was listening to the audiobook. So I was able to breeze through it. I happen to love the TV show of this book, and it happened to be Anne of Green Gables. I love the TV show Anne with an E on Netflix. It is a good comfort TV show of mine, and I'm so sad they retired the TV show. I was so sad when we got the news of that. I will just put it on as background because I know what's going on in the TV show. So I've always been intrigued in reading this series, and I found the entire series at a Goodwill about a year ago. They're all the small mass print books. The other ones don't match this style of cover. I have the rest in this cover. They did have the other cover of this style at Goodwill when I found them, but I honestly preferred this cover whenever I was able to choose between the two. So my plan is to continue this series. I'm unbelievably intrigued as to where the rest of the story goes. There are some instances where the TV show deterred from the book, but I really enjoyed how much it was closely tied to this book. And just throughout the entire time I was listening to the audiobook of this, I was just imagining the TV show and the characters. I'm so excited to continue into the rest of the world of Anne of Green Gables. I'm happy that I have the rest of the series, so I don't have to stop and try to find the book anywhere. I got lucky with Goodwill having the rest of this series. So at the end of the book, it was talking about Gilbert Blythe and how they're going to be friends again, and how she's starting to see him in a different light than she did previously in this book. So I'm intrigued about their relationship and how she's gonna go regarding still being in Avonlea and dealing with the death of Matthew. I was just surprised at how much I love this book for it being considered a classic. So good. Highly recommend it. It is pretty easy to understand. I will say Anne does talk a lot in this book. She rambles on and on and on. So sometimes I think, oh my god, Anne, can you stop talking for once and just get on with the storyline, because you're just rambling on and on and on. But at least it's consistent throughout the book. She is doing the exact same thing. I did not expect myself to get through it as fast as I did, considering it's a classic. and I didn't know what to expect from it. So happy that I finally picked this book up and was able to enter into the world of Anne of Green Gables. That was just a quick update because I don't know how else to do a reading vlog on this book because I just finished it in the same day. So there was nothing for me to even update y'all about because I just was working and I got into a flow state. I have gotten a bit further in Butcher and Blackbird. It's taking me a good while to get through this book due to it being after Thanksgiving. College is ramping up for finals next week. I only have technically one in-person final next week and it's on Tuesday, but being an architecture major, I have a big presentation for studio and a booklet also due for my entire semester long project. I have to make a booklet for that, so I'm a little stressed about that because it's research based and precedence based and diagram based. It's just a lot of context of what I've been doing over the past couple of months. Also, my presentation on Monday is compiling all my diagrams all into one board to be able to present it to people in a gallery style presentation. So I'm very stressed. This weekend I might get a couple chapters read of this book. I'm not 100% sure. I probably will work on studio the entire day and then maybe read a couple chapters at night. I will not be staying up until 5 a.m. just to read. Whenever I was a first year architecture student, I pull all-nighters every time a project was due. It wasn't that I didn't know how to manage my time. I was always in studio. If you're not driven to produce the best work of your capability to prove that you belong there, people get weeded out after first year, and where I go to college, you have to reapply to get into the actual architecture program after first year, because first year is where you're getting the broad idea of architecture and urban planning. So you get to dabble in a little bit of everything. So once the year is over, you create your portfolio and then you have to resubmit it to the college to get into whichever one you want to try to get into. So you got to produce really good work for a first year to be able to get into those spots. And it's just, first year is very competitive. You're trying to one-up one another. And it's just a lot. It takes a toll on you. I've heard stories from other people about how it completely destroyed their body their first year and they were going to the doctor because of how destroyed and drained they felt after first year. So we're all trying to make ourselves better and not pull all-nighters, but we'll see what happens. Every once in a while, I get really close to pulling an all-nighter for projects. I'm doing my best to where I am planning on not pulling an all-nighter because I don't want to do that and I'm so drained already. Pulling an all-nighter will not help me produce good work. It'll make me produce crappy work that I'm not proud of to present. So I am gonna be working as much as possible to get my drawings and stuff done. But with that, I have gotten a little bit further in this book. Every once in a while I take a little bit of a break, and once I hop into bed I read a chapter maybe. And I'm now at page 158, chapter 13. I've gotten a little bit further since the last time I chatted with you. I wasn't expecting such time jumps because you get some chapters, drastic time jumps in this book. You go maybe 6 months in the future every chapter because of how they're still doing their games. Rowan and Sloane go and try to compete on who's gonna kill the serial killer first. So it time jumps. You get to hear the back and forth of Sloane being like, I'm really interested in him, but like, am I too much for him? Maybe I'm gonna scare him off. Maybe he doesn't really actually like me. And you get in Rowan's head, and then you find out he's actually obsessed with her, and Sloane is just overthinking it. But also Rowan gives mixed signals because in the last chapter they went to a birthday award dinner that Rowan asked Sloane to go to, and he was like, Later, the real fun will begin. And Sloane was thinking, oh, he's actually interested in me. We might get up to something later in the night. And then Rowan goes, oh, that guy behind us is a serial killer. We're gonna take him tonight. We're gonna kill him. That's the plan for tonight. And Sloane's like, oh, I didn't realize you didn't mean, oh, I've got this all wrong. Miscommunication here. Of course. It seemed like they were about to kiss. Rowan was about to kiss Sloane, and Rowan gets a phone call from his restaurant that he's running, and it's like, hey, the stove blew up, so you need to get here right now. So Rowan is dealing with a lot with his restaurant, but also y'all need to work on communication. Miscommunication at its core just happened, and I felt so bad for Sloane. Rowan, you need to get better with telling her what's actually gonna go down instead of just being super cryptic with your words. So I'm enjoying it. I've just got a lot going on with school, so I haven't been able to sit down and just binge this book because this is such an easily bingeable book. I thought since they were serial killers, I would get a little grossed out about it, and there are times that I am, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I like Sloane and Rowan. I'm intrigued as to see where they go from here and what's in store for them, and how long it'll finally take for them to get together. So I'm very intrigued. Finals week is now over, so I'm excited to finally have the time to read what I want and read as much as I want. I'm finally able to breeze through this. I have been reading this off and on throughout finals week after my big presentation was submitted on Monday, and also my only in-person final was done and over with on Tuesday. So after I got those done, I had a lot of stress off my plate, so I was able to read a bit more. Now that everything is wrapped up, now I'm able to finish this book. I'm on 289, chapter 22. I literally have 3 chapters left, but then also add the epilogue, so 4 chapters, and that is not that many pages. I will be finishing this super soon. I'm so excited to be able to finish this. Normally I'm grossed out around the topics that are talked about in this book, especially murdering the people, but I have been enjoying this. It isn't my favorite dark romance that I've ever read, but I have been enjoying this so much. I'm at a very suspenseful part where this murderer finds Rowan and Sloane and goes after Rowan and is like, you better get her to go home or I'm gonna kill her. So then Rowan says some mean stuff to Sloane to get her to leave the restaurant, and she was breaking down, but thank God she recognized that there was some weird stuff that Rowan said that just didn't add up with her memory. So she looked back at their text message thread and she put it together and was able to recognize that something was wrong. So she checked the cameras that she installed in the kitchen, and she recognized that she might be too late. She fucked up. She's got to go save Rowan, basically. So she calls Rowan's brother, Lachlan. Now she is racing to save Rowan before anything bad happens to him. I will be finishing this today. I finished it. Oh my god, I could not with the ending of this book. The little extra chapter at the end. Oh my god. I love that so much. It was so funny. I was audibly just giggling reading the epilogue chapter. That was so funny. And I love how much Rowan considers Sloane and how she's always in her mind, and he just tries to relieve her stress at all costs, and he knows that certain things stress her out, and he just figures out what he can do to help with that. So sweet. I love this book. It was so good. Such a great book, highly recommend. I'm excited to get into the next one of this series. I loved all the characters in this book. I will say, when Sloane went to save Rowan, and Rowan was just with the one killer, my stomach was turning. The descriptions and the gore, oh, that was so disgusting. I started skipping over little bits and pieces of it, even though I got the gist of it, but like, oh my god, it was so much. I loved every single moment of this book, I will say, but I loved it so much. I can't wait for the next one. I'm super excited to get my hands on it. I'm surprised at how much I love this, because going in knowing it's serial killers, I was a little worried with how much I wasn't gonna like it based on all the gore in this book, because serial killers and whatnot, but oh, I love Sloane and Rowan together. I love the tattoo that Sloane put together for Rowan to cover the scar on the scar, and how she added color to it when Rowan was proposing to Sloane and they were putting together their little masterpiece for her putting the map together for the serial killer that they just killed. She actually added color too, and she's like, you brought the color back out of me. Girl, I can't. Super sweet. And then also Rowan pulling in a dragon onesie at the end there. That was hysterical. I love that. That was so great. I love that so much. Absolutely perfect. Ugh, this book just, the ending of this book just put a smile on my face. So good. And I'm excited to see Lachlan and Lark in the next one together. I'm intrigued as to their storyline, because it sounds like they hate each other but also secretly liking one another and hooking up, so I'm excited. I'm curious to see if in their book we get to see Lachlan helping Lark move all her stuff into her new apartment, because she moved to Boston. So I'm excited to see how much we get to see of Rowan and Sloane in Lachlan and Lark's book. I'm so intrigued. Love this book so much. So good. Well, that's where this video is going to be ending off. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Well, I did, obviously. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe and check out more, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you spending your time clicking on this video and watching it. I really appreciate it. And thank y'all so much for watching. Bye!